In the previous two lessons, we talked about trend, and logical continuation of that lesson is the trend lines and channels. The trend line represents a line that is obtained by connecting at least 2 points within the existing trend. The trend line represents support and resistance levels. What are the levels of support and resistance? The level of support is a zone below the current price from which we expect growth of price. The resistance level is a zone above the current price from which we expect fall. Evaluation of support and resistance levels is made with the help of forms and the tools of technical analysis, and it is important to know that the level of support and resistance should be observed as a zone, not as a precise point. The trend line may represent a level of support and level of resistance. We will explain that in the following picture. As we said, the trend line is obtained by connecting the bottom points in the growing trend. It provides support levels for us, and we believe that the price will deduct from this line and continue the original trend. Levels of trend line represents the signals to enter the buy position, point 3, 4 and 5, while the stop loss orders should be set up below the previous lows. For example, if we decide to enter into long position in point 4, when the price hit the trend line, we should set stop loss order below the previous low, mark it with number 3. Once the trend line is broken, as we can see in point 6, then the trend line becomes the resistance line from which we believe that the price will deduct and begin to fall, as shown in point 7. The same principle prevails in a downtrend, only then the line will be obtained by connecting the highs, and then the trend line will represent a line of resistance from which we expect the fall in price, until one day it would be broken and became a support line. We can move to the platform and open currency pair euro dollar to see if we can find here the trend line and also support and resistance level. Pay attention to these two rising waves. Okay, we will connect the two bottoms and get the trend line. When the price comes close to our trend line, we had a buy signal. As we see, the price has jumped from the trend line and made growth of about 160 pips. This growth did not last long, and price soon returned and broke through our trend line. And as we said, now for us this is the resistance line from which we expect the fall in price. What happened next? The price has approached to the trend line, and now we had a signal for short on this currency pair. This does not mean that the price will certainly drop from this level, but with the fundamental and other tools of technical analysis, we can expect a drop in price from this trend line. As for the channel, we can say that they represent two nearly parallel lines. One line is obtained by connecting the bottom, while the other by connecting tops. In the picture we see channel in a growing trend that we obtain by connecting points 1, 3 and 5, and this line represents the trend line. The second line we get by connecting peaks 2, 4 and 6. This channel we could draw earlier when we only had 2 peaks and 2 bottoms on the graph, or when we had only points 1, 2, 3 and 4. The space between these two lines represents the zone between the price moves. The bottom line represents the support line and provides signal for buy, like in point 5, while the upper line represents the line of resistance and gives signals for short, like in point 6. Although the price may long oscillate within the channel, there are similar rules as for trends that tells us that the price will leave clearly marked zone and reverse the trend. The first indication of this is shown in point 7, where we see that the top did not reach the upper line of channel, neither to break the previous top. This tells us that the price does not have the strength to carry on with the initial rising trend, and there is a chance that the price in next turn maybe break the bottom line of the channel, and in this case it is not wise to enter the buy position. As we see, this has happened in point 8. Prices not only broke through the channel line, but even more quickly exceeded the level of the previous bottom, and this is a clear sign that there could be a reversing trend.